Today we're going to break down FaZe's win over G2 after being down 7-15 and find what really made the difference to bring it all the way back to a map victory. Starting off at 15-7, FaZe get into a good position with a 4A stack, but G2 used some good utility to break the setup, which result in both Brokey and JKS going down towards long, leaving Rops and Twist left alive in the A site in a 3v3 situation. Now with this particular smoke at site that G2 threw, Twist is going to try to use it to play an off angle towards long while Rops stays in the site. He takes contact and repositions the pit as the smoke is fading, drawing all the attention towards him, and this acts as a bit of a bait setup which allows Rops to catch Nico on the side while he's trying to hunt Twist. As the hit slows down, Rops and Twist try to maintain this up as much as possible, but G2 throw a flash that pushes Rops off the angle that breaks this up and allows Hunter to kill Twist. Although Rops dodges the flash, notice that he doesn't try to peek to fight the push. A big reason for this is recognizing that mahone was very likely posted up on him and would have punished him if he peeked. With such low time remaining, Rops opts to force the T's to have to clear him out physically rather than try to fight the push. He takes the duel against Hunter with the upper hand and knowing where he's coming from, and then making mahone work for this last kill. Because of Rops' hold, all Kerrigan has to do is just stay alive to win the round. The next round of 15-8, FaZe are in a 4v4 situation where Twist spots the long smoke. He plays behind it, but he hears utility being thrown, and since they only have two players towards the A site and they're playing separated, he goes into the smoke hoping to catch a timing. Now the sounds of the utility being thrown suggest it's likely a Halls pop, where there's a good chance there's only one person, so Twist takes that chance and pushes the smoke to catch Nico. Meanwhile, Brokey at A on the double stack, he dodges the first flash to catch Jax flying out, and slips behind the single box. He takes a moment to hide, not taking the fight right away, and then finds a good timing to peek, killing both Hunter and mahone. Notice here that he didn't just peek at a random timing, he actually peeks after mahone shoots his op, taking advantage of that brief moment where mahone cannot shoot in order to take the 1v1 against Hunter. This was necessary because his rotation was too far away for him to simply stall, so he made the most out of the opportunity to give FaZe their 9th. After a round of eco on G2 side, we begin again at 15-10. FaZe start 3B this round, JKS going immediately to sandbags, G2 go for an aggressive banana hit, and JKS gets a highlight round from this position, netting 3 kills. But there was a little bit more going on behind the scenes from his teammates that allowed him to pull this off. Specifically for JKS' second kill, Kerrigan threw a flash to completely blind Alexi B, which essentially made it a free kill. As for the third kill, Brokey threw an HE landing at the half wall position to deter T's from pushing up, but he also smoked the Molotov so he can push through and help the hold. With Nico getting hit by the HE and having to respect that the smoke can allow another CT to push through, FaZe get the kill on Nico and eventually convert their 11th. Round 28 at 15-12, G2 go for a B execute with Brokey and JKS playing inside the B bomb site. Brokey drops the smoke in between Quad and Dark, pulling attention towards him, which allows JKS to get the first kill. But as Kerrigan rotates, he gets caught by Nico, who actually slips into construction through CT, which then puts the site players in a difficult spot. JKS goes down to Alexi B, leaving Brokey alone in the site, and Brokey does a massive job to get 2 kills. But take a look at how he decides who to fight. He first goes for Alexi B since he knows his exact location from JKS's death. Then, seeing Hunter physically falling from the second oranges, he recognizes there's a window of time to fight Nico coming in before having to worry about Hunter. He even tucks himself into the pillar just slightly, ensuring that Hunter can't get a clear shot without wrapping the other side of Quad. With those 2 kills, he eventually falls, but this gives enough time for the rotation to come in and they keep the pressure up. Rops throws a flash over towards the B site, pushing Hunter off the angle site to give him space to win this duel against mahone. Then Twist follows up with a Molotov towards site, and Rops flashes once again to catch Hunter out in the open planting the bomb. And they do this because if they had given them space to plant the bomb, they would have given him a chance to win the 1v2. Round 29, G2 go for another half buy push towards B, and unfortunately this time JKS gets stuck alone on site as Kerrigan gets pushed back by utility at CT, resulting in JKS getting overwhelmed and losing the site while Kerrigan rotates the coffins. Brokey, as the rotator, also gets caught by Hunter pushing the CT smoke, leaving Kerrigan as the sole defender. Kerrigan takes this fight willingly, knowing that if he delays it, G2 could potentially squeeze him from both sides. After getting the kill, Kerrigan simply holds, knowing that G2 have to aggress in some way since FaZe have the man advantage. Because of this, he catches mahone, and look at how thorough FaZe are with the last player. Rops throws a smoke at Banana and also a flash just over coffins to make things as hard as possible for Jax to come up with a big clutch, and that seals 15-14. The final round of regulation, the make it or break it round that we're all familiar with, starts with Twist dying to Jax blind at long, and then JKS getting caught shifting around in the site. And this is where Rops pulls off the big highlight with 4 kills. First finding mahone at Boiler, and then Jax coming up middle, and then the last 2 apartments players managing his angles perfectly. But how did he know what the exact move should be? The first kill on Modesty is a free one since no one on G2 knew he was in the spot yet, but there are two things that happen in this moment. A flash comes out of apartments and Rob spots Jax at brackets. Robs tries to capitalize on Jax, but the angle isn't there to get clean shots off, so Robs shifts his attention to apartments. He also drops down and moves slightly towards A, forcing Jax to move forward to take a wider angle in order to fight him. As Robs is expecting the players to drop out of apartments, he notices he doesn't see them, meaning that they could be dropping more on the pit side rather than towards short, so he recognizes that this gives him a window of time to fight Jax at mid before having to engage them. And with this kill, it also allows him to move behind the pillar, now offering him cover to fight the T's coming out of pit. He takes down Alexi B, and then for the final kill, notice he gives a slight peek for information before locking the kill on Nico out in the open, and that brings us to overtime. Now moving on to the first round of overtime, FaZe capitalized on a couple small details. The first is Ross not getting blinded by Alexi B's flash at Boiler, which allows him to take down Hunter coming out. Being on the balcony cuts off certain angles from this flash, so that gave him a chance to fight. The second is Brokey flashing before he peeks brackets, allowing him to lock an angle and punishing Modesty dry peeking. Now Modesty did flash initially to peek, but because he was blinded by Brokey's flash, he stopped. He got a little greedy not using his second flash, which leads to his death along with Jax further up brackets, and this locks up the round. In the second round of overtime, FaZe run up against G2's A wrap strat with the Arch and Library smokes, but Brokey shuts down this main push with the 2 kills on Jax and Alexi B. The main thing I want to highlight here is the way Brokey positions himself for the second kill. Typically when this strat or any variation of it is run, teams often have a player running up along this wall playing anti-flash. Brokey understood this and positioned himself accordingly to take down Alexi B, who was pathing as his player. To make it 3 in a row in OT, FaZe start by throwing the mid smoke from spawn, and with this smoke, it actually pops in time for Robs to cross the middle and go for an aggressive abs play. Robs tanks the Molotov to get an early timing to find Jax at the bottom of the stairs. With this 5v4 now at the 50-second mark, Kerrigan takes a gamble and phases the smoke at the entrance of B to grab information. He sees absolutely nobody, and with the low amount of time left on the clock, he knows for sure this has to be a late round brackets take to A, a tendency that G2 have shown multiple times on Inferno. So when he gets to the bottom banana, he sees multiple T's not even looking at him and is rewarded with 3 kills to set FaZe up to win this round and the match as well. That's going to be it. Thanks so much for watching. Please drop a like and feel free to look at these videos as well.